the sun is out. We are blessed with another day. So I just wanted to get on here and touch base and see what y'all goals are for the week. The number one goal we should all have is to get more sunlight. It only takes 10 minutes a day to get the amount of vitamin D that you need. On my way to work, I usually don't wear sunglasses. I learned on one of my science podcasts that the sunlight to your eyes is actually a natural way to wake your body up. That's how all other animals know that it's daytime and it's time to be awake. And really, if you don't wear sunglasses on the way to work, you will not be sluggish like you normally would. It's really weird, but it does work. So that is my advice for you today. If the sun is out where you live, go and catch 10 minutes of sunlight. It will make you feel way, way better. And then you can also try to get some grounding in, connecting with the earth, whether it's, touching the ground with your hands, touching the ground with your feet, or just laying your whole body in the grass. You want to try to do it on grass, not cement or concrete. So that's just a thought, to make yourself feel better and look better. A little bit of color to everyone's skin is always a good thing. If you have kids, it's important to remember to tell them to go outside. I know the kids today just play a lot of video games. Even if you open up a window while you're washing dishes, or if you open up a window in your kids' room while they are playing a game or cleaning, any little bit of sunlight makes a world of a difference. Like I said, 10 minutes is all you need to be able to get the vitamin D that you need for the day. Vitamin D does probably 1,000 things in the body, and the sunlight is one of the only ways to get vitamin D naturally. There is some in food, but very little. A lot of your milk will be fortified with vitamin D because we don't get enough sunlight. So just go out there and catch a little bit of sun if you're lucky enough to do so, whether it's on your lunch break or with your cup of coffee in the morning. 10 minutes and your body will thank you for the vitamin D. And like I said earlier, no sunglasses in the morning, especially, because that is a cue to your internal clock that it is time to get up and get moving and get productive for the week, because it's Monday today. I wanted to go over my goals and see what you guys' goals are. Hey everybody, thanks for joining. We're talking about just how to make ourselves feel better. The focus today is on sunlight. Sunlight is one of the only natural forms of vitamin D. So you want to go out and get at least 10 minutes of sunlight. That will make a big difference to your vitamin D status. And we're also talking about our goals for the week. Hey everybody, thanks for joining. I really appreciate you guys being here. The main point of what we talk about on our little lives in the morning is just how to make ourselves better with little steps. It doesn't have to be big major changes. It just has to be small things like 10 minutes of sunlight a day, maybe taking soft drinks out of your diet, stuff like that. Last week I've been experimenting with different type of hula hoop workouts, kind of touching in every category. I did a HIIT workout last week. I'm working on editing that right now. It's high intensity training. It's a shorter workout, just higher intensity. It's good for people that want to slim down, not really for people that want to build muscle. So depending on your goals, I also have a yoga video. We did an aerobic video, cardio, and then once I hit video edited, hopefully this week, and then We will probably work on, I would say, a Pilates video more than likely. I know wall Pilates is becoming a big thing, so I've kind of been, following that. But really, like I said, it's about making yourself healthy just by maybe one choice a day. Big change is hard for a lot of people, so gradual change is ideal, whether it comes to dieting, exercise, or just therapeutic things that you do for yourself. So, sunlight, exercise, whenever we can. Multitasking, I have my hula hoops in the back seat. I will be packaging them at lunch. So multitasking is a big thing. If you want to be successful, you do have to work towards it, and you're going to have to work hard towards it. No one is going to hand it to you, unfortunately. But the older you get, the more experience you'll have and the more confident you'll be in your choices when it comes to health, wellness, and finances. The stock market has been going up finally. We talked last week about investing. I don't know if anyone here invests. Good morning, Kelly. But yes, we are just talking about, like I said, making small changes that can make a big difference. Whether you try to stay away from chemicals, go to more all-natural soaps. Dove White is a good soap for your skin. It's very minimal in chemicals. Also, like face lotions. I just got it's like a face primer. It's made by e.l.f. It's green in color, not when you put it on your skin, but what it does is it puts a barrier under your makeup to separate your skin from your makeup, and it's good for your skin. It has like salicylic acid in it, and I find that my skin has improved significantly than before, when I was letting the makeup sit directly onto my skin. That can absorb into your pores naturally, and makeup is full of terrible chemicals, unfortunately. So like I said, this puts a barrier. It's e.l.f. Salicylic acid primer. I believe it is green in color. It's not very expensive. If anyone is not familiar with e.l.f. products, they're very innovative and very cost effective. I find there's always something new and cool to look at in their section. So, and also you're very pleased with the pricing, which is a hard thing to accomplish in this economy. It does make it easier to remove your makeup as well. I usually use like a makeup pad or like a little makeup wipe, disposable, to take my makeup off, because I do bathe, so I don't want, like my makeup to stay in the tub or anything like that. But yes, it definitely helps just protect your skin. You can feel the barrier between, and it's actually really, really nice. It's one of my favorite makeup products that I've gotten recently, and I'm always pleasantly surprised with e.l.f. But like I said, today is the day. If you have a second, go outside and get 10 minutes of sunlight, preferably every day if possible, even on your lunch break, or like I said, in the morning with your coffee. Maybe even let the kids go run around and play and get some vitamin D for themselves in the morning while you're out just catching some sun and having a cup of coffee. It's important for all of us to get our sunlight. It's something that a lot of us don't have enough vitamin D. Most of us are deficient in vitamin D. So that is a good step to making yourself healthier and happier. And so if anyone has any goals for this week, let me know. Anything that you would like to see For me, I can do research on any topic that you guys are interested in, so always, just spark a little light bulb for me. That is great. I always appreciate that. And like, for instance, trying to stay away from chemicals and the things that we put on our bodies. Makeup is definitely a big thing, and for me, I am not comfortable really stepping out of the house without makeup on. I usually always have makeup on whenever I am out in town and out and about, but I could feel, when I had an irritation, a pimple, something that I picked out on my face, that makeup, like a burning sensation, which is never a good thing. But with the salicylic acid primer, you don't feel that. It puts that barrier between, and the salicylic acid is actually healing and good for your skin. So that's what I really like about e.l.f. is that they're thoughtful, they're innovative, they're not just trying to make a quick buck. It doesn't seem like they really want good, cool products out there. I will say, compared to most of the makeup brands, I find that they are much more innovative, thoughtful, and have products that are made for the consumer. Hey, everyone looks like they're in a good mood on this Monday morning. I love that. This weekend we had a crawfish boil with family and friends. It was a really good time. It's always important to make time for family and friends, and to socialize and just put yourself out there. When it comes to family relations and friends, you really have to put in effort. Friendship and family relationships, they take effort, and if you care, you should be willing to put that effort in. It's very important to maintain community. Community is what I feel like we're missing or lacking a lot of. The division of everyone makes us lack community, because if someone from the left hears that you're from the right, or someone from the right hears that you're from the left, there's automatically like profiling, like almost underground hatred, which is like so discouraging, because we have so much more in common than we have different. So just, be thoughtful, be open, listen to what people have to say and why they have that opinion. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, so we just have to be open, keep our minds open, and not be closed-minded and biased, because as we're learning, things aren't always as they seem. So you do have to keep an open mind. Don't be ignorant, like just blindly led into the current events that are happening, because usually there's only half-truths. Depending on what news you're listening to, it could be a total false. Both sides of the news are very, very distorted, to say the least, if you ask me. So try to stay away from the mainstream media news. Listen to people that you respect and love, and like podcasters. That's why Joe Rogan is so popular, because he is entitled to his own opinion, just like everyone else. So keep your mind open, keep your heart open, and just be kind to everyone that you run across. And if you disagree with someone, just have a conversation. Like, why can't we agree to disagree anymore? I feel like that's what we're missing from like the 90s days. Like, I always remember my parents telling me, don't talk politics, but like now, if you talk politics, someone will totally shun you in the corner, which is, like I said, crazy. I have friends, I have customers that are not the same political views as me. I consider myself an independent now. I am not on the left, I am not on the right. I am a self-thinker. I don't do groupthink. I do not follow the crowd. My natural instinct is to find my own way, the road less traveled by. That's just my natural instinct. So you just have to, like I said, be open-minded, agree to disagree, treat everyone with respect, and understand that they have their own opinions for their own reasons. Everyone has different life experiences, and you really never know what someone has gone through, because most people don't wear their heart on their sleeves or their trauma on their sleeves. It's crazy because I am not the most open person. I do have a hard time opening up to people and getting close to people, but it's something that I try to work on all the time. And you know, I feel like when I tell people about my past trauma in life, that they always tend to just see me as in a more human form, and people tend to want to accept me more. But that's the last thing that I want to tell people, is all the bad things that I've been through. But that is what makes me the most relatable from what I've picked up over time. So I do try to work on it every day, be a little bit more open. My trauma to close friends that I have opened up to has changed their lives. I have helped them and their families for the better. So that's why it's important to not put on that perfect persona. People want to see the human side of you. People don't always want to see the Instagram version of you. People like to be able to relate to your life and to your life experiences. And you never know, you just opening up to one person and telling them something could potentially help them, save them, or change their life in the future. So it's about sharing knowledge and opening up to each other, making ourselves feel our best self, because that's how you can contribute your best self to the world. You want to feel good, to be able to put out good vibrations into the universe. Like I said, it's Monday, so we should be grateful for another week to potentially be productive, to find something new that we love, or just to work on things that we have going on in our own lives and our own personal health journeys. We've been trying to get our dieting back on track. It's been going pretty good. Oh, y'all had a crawfish boil too? That's awesome. Crawfish boils are great. It's really a good way to gather together. We love some crawfish down here. So if you ever get a chance to try crawfish and you're not from the South, do it. They're delicious. It's one of our specialties down here. They're also low cal. You will swell up a little bit the next day because there's a lot of sodium in the crawfish boil seasoning. So don't get on the scale the next day, because you will be up a pound or two just from holding that fluid. It will drain out eventually. So I don't really worry about fluid weight like I do actual fat, because actual fat is a lot harder to get rid of than just some water weight. So does anyone have any goals for the week, or any just small tip or advice that you can give to the group and everyone who's in here about being your best self? Or like I said, my little advice today was 10 minutes of sunlight is all that you need to get your vitamin D for the day. So whether it's in the morning, not every day do we have the opportunity to get in the sun. So when you do have the opportunity, just go, and I'm telling you, 10 minutes will make you feel so much better. So that's my advice for y'all this week. before the spring is gone and it gets too hot, depending where you live. You want to go and try to get some direct sunlight on your skin. Don't wear sunglasses on the way to work, because that is your natural cue to wake up and get moving. Every other animal follows the cues of the sun to know when to wake up and to go to bed. So it's the same for us. Like I said, we've naturally, or just maybe unintentionally, separated ourselves from everything that's good for us, like sunlight. Everyone wears sunglasses. So if I was wearing sunglasses every day, I have a pretty long commute to work. I was wearing sunglasses every day, and I would get to work and my eyes still felt like they were sleeping. And I thought it was just, me, my body. But then once I heard this, I think his name's Andrew Huberman. He's like a nitty-gritty science podcaster. I love science. Science is my friend. I'm like a huge science nerd. But he was saying that the sun is a natural cue to tell your body that it's time to start the day. So ever since then, I have quit wearing sunglasses, and I do not feel tired or lethargic whenever I get to work anymore. So that's just one thing that we've done that has separated us from the earth. Like I said, our tennis shoes and sandals and concrete and housing has separated us from grounding and connecting with the earth. If you put your body on the ground, as for like the grass itself, it is a natural detoxifier. It will detoxify your body. And that's something that people rarely do, is to connect directly with the ground. So if you are outside catching some sun, kick your shoes off, go stick them in the ground, and you can even do your doom scrolling while you're out there. We have our cell phones. It's not like we're just a sitting duck wherever we go now. I will say that's one thing I do like about cell phones. I am naturally pretty socially awkward. So like if I'm walking into a waiting room to get my oil changed, or a doctor's office, it's nice to have your phone as a little comfort buddy. I used to hate like just sitting in a room and there was like no cell phones and everyone's just sitting there like judging each other, in my opinion, or just, awkward silence. So that is one thing that I do like about your little cell phone buddy. You always have it. You can also feel pretty safe going outside, because you always have your little lifeline in your hand. So even going outside, like to do a 5-minute exercise, it's like kill two birds with one stone. Sunlight, exercise, take your shoes off, it's grounding. So that's 3. I mean, you could get 3 good things done for you in a matter of 10 to 20 minutes. So it's about really thinking about being productive as you can in such a busy world that we live in. But so last week we also talked about, like I said, multitasking. Multitasking is an essential thing that you need to learn if you want to be successful in life. It's just something that my husband always says, you want to work smarter, not harder. I tend to work harder before smarter sometimes, but I do take that with a grain of salt what he says, because it is true. Like, we'll approach a task totally different and we're both getting the task done, but sometimes his way might be a little bit easier, or sometimes my way is a little bit easier as well. You also don't want to like limit yourself to the constructs of our society or our mind. Like, for instance, my parents were like do-it-yourselfers, like figure it out, Rarely did we call someone to come out and do anything at our house, whether it was like for plumbing. Usually electrical will call the professionals, but it's something that I was always curious about. I would watch my dad like put the chain on the back of the toilet. I was like, why isn't the toilet flushing? Oh, well, the chain's off. And now you know that to implement it whenever it happens to you later. Like, I am curious as hell. So I just I'm kind of the handyman of the house, and you can call that role reversal or whatever, but I just never lived by the standards of what a girl should do or what a boy should do. Those constructs are just in our mind. So if it feels right and you feel confident doing it, just do it. Like, we bought a house and beautiful spa looking bathroom. I was like, this is my bathroom dreams. Well, once we get into the house, we get settled in, we go to take a shower. There is only cold water. I was like, what the hell? Well, like I said, my parents are very do-it-yourselfers, so my mom got on the internet, she started Googling, she was like, because your house is a new construction, it has to be something that it's the old system. It's just like, maybe it wasn't figuring out, it was a scalding meter. Just so you know, kids are going to have kids. It is a small piece of plastic on the inside of the hardware, your nozzle of your bathtub. It's just a little piece of plastic that covers the hot water valve, or you can open up the hot water valve. So it was all the way covered, so that's why we weren't getting any hot water. So it took me 2 screws, screwdriver, 2 screws off, move a little piece of plastic, put it back on, voila, we have water. If we would have called a plumber, they would have probably charged us, God, I don't even want to guess. So it's good to be self-sufficient and self-reliant. You never know what we are going to face in this world that we live in of uncertainty. So, you know, I always tell my husband he's very lucky to find a girl like me, because we just balance each other out. That's not his strong suit, and that's okay. It's mine. So it really is about ebbing and flowing, trying to be the best partner that you can be. It's not always easy. Every day you have to put work into it, but you should want to put the work into it because you love the person, and the person puts a lot of work and energy into you as well. So it's really about compromising, treating each other with kindness, not taking out the sweat and regret of the day on each other after work. Work can be stressful, especially 40 hours a week. It can be very daunting. I know everyone knows. Most of us have no choice. But maybe we will one day. So we just have to keep showing up, keep doing better. Maybe AI will take some of our jobs. If you do have a job that doesn't require a whole lot of critical thinking, that would be something maybe that you should be motivated to pay attention to. Is that AI could potentially replace cashiers, which it already has to a certain extent with self-checkout, anything like any basic task. My job does require critical thinking, so we would be probably one of the last to be taken over by AI. But I say that, but then now they're saying that surgeons will be replaced by AI, and doctors and teachers sooner than later. So maybe think about a career change if your job is potentially AI replaceable, or potentially able to be replaced by AI, I should say. You always want to be 2 steps ahead. You don't want to be a sitting duck when stuff like that happens. So you definitely want to start looking for a career change, if that is where you are at right now. Even handmade goods, that is something good to get into. It gives you a sense of purpose also. You feel accomplished after you make all these hula hoops. And if you make a product that you like, then, like for instance, my day job, it's a family business. I do enjoy my work. It is fulfilling, but it's not what I would have picked for my #1 job. It is not my dream job. However, when I do work for I Dream of Hoops, which is my hula hoop company, you can buy any handmade hula hoops from me on Etsy or on my website, www.idreamofhoops.com.co. I do hand make all of the products myself. Also, if you're interested in getting into shape this summer with us, I did just list a new beginner hoop setup. It'll give you the option. You're gonna have 2 hoops for the listing. It'll be a mystery hoop, so I will pick the colors. One will be a larger taped beginner hoop with grip tape. The second hoop will be a 3/4 inch polypro hoop in a smaller size, just to get you familiar with, like, you want a hoop in a small size and a big size. There's no perfect hoop for every trick or every person or every body type. So you want to experiment, and that's the only way that you'll be able to do so. So I feel like giving you guys an option to have a big hoop and a small hoop will give you a frame of reference from where you want to go to next size wise. So that's an option if you're looking to get in shape this summer. I am slowly but surely dropping a couple pounds as I go with my workouts, so they are working for me. I'm trying to make them as simple as possible on, like, the hooping side for beginners for all levels. So if you're looking to get in shape at home and not having to go to the gym, a hula hoop from me is the way to go. I do feel a lot more fulfilled with my hoop crafting than I do with my other job. It just makes me happy to see the finished product. I like when people give me ideas. I love to make custom hoops. I made this, like, cool, dreamy, the base tape was like a color shifting tape, and then they requested yellow reflective stars all over it. So I mean, this hoop was absolutely gorgeous. And he found the inspiration from another hoop that I had that was similar. So always, if you see something like, oh my god, I love that hoop, but if it was this, I would really love it, just tell me. I'm always open to new ideas. It helps my creative process, and I just love making things that you guys love. And I know that I've changed lives with my hula hoops, and that makes me feel so happy inside and grateful. So on this Monday morning, we want to make one change that is productive. Like I said, whether it's sunlight, looking into investing in yourself. I have a live that I did on how to do small investments over time that will pay off in the long run. And then we also have a live on how to avoid chemicals as best as you can. And we're just really going for, like, overall health and wellness and productivity. So thank you guys for always joining. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any ideas on information or content, just let me know. I'm happy to provide, and I hope you guys have a great week.